Some people, these tragedies of the ummah, the bloodshed, the mass bloodshed of the ummah, and every time that happens, what do we say? We have to raise our voice. We have to raise our voice. We have to raise our voice. We've been saying this for 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years. Raise your voice, raise your voice. The guy was 18 years old. He's 58 years old now. He's still raising his voice. But something doesn't change. And then we say, no, Allah is not answering our du'as. We need to do something more drastic. Maybe we don't understand what Allah told us all along. You want to be able to be heard? You want to be able to be heard without even raising your voice? Learn to gather power. The enemy of Allah doesn't fear your voice. You know what they fear though? تُرْهِبُونَ بِهِ عَدُوَ اللَّهِ. When you start amassing power. When you become powerful. There are nations in the world, I'll end with this, there are nations in the world today that have a military, but they don't intend on invading other nations. They have no interest in invading other nations, but they have a lot of interest in doing business with other nations. So they're opening up, they're buying ports, and they're making investments all over the world. And those same nations, after they make all these investments, sometimes they are oppressing their own population. Their own. And you know what? Nobody will say anything. Not because we're afraid of their military. Because if anybody raises their voice and says, hey, you can't do that to those people, they'll say, okay, we'll just pull out our investments from your country and let your entire currency tank and let your real estate market crash and let your stock market crash. Let's see how you deal with that. So everybody just quietly lets them do whatever they want to do. You know why? Because they didn't need a military or fighter jets or weapons to have power. They used economic power as their engine, didn't they? And with that power, they don't have to even open their mouth. They don't have to say anything, and they're heard around the world anyway. Muslims, it is time us collectively, we start thinking about that. We start thinking about what does it mean to be powerful and strategic in dealing with propaganda? What does it mean to become powerful and strategic in dealing with the economic engines that run this world? And how do we combat that together as an ummah? We are the most precious human resource, the precious resource is actually the human resource. And we are a massive population of the world. The Muslims are the most powerful population on earth without realizing it. Absolutely without realizing it. If we don't understand these lessons, and if we want to see change come overnight, if we're dreaming of change just coming, when is the change coming? When is the help of Allah coming? Wait, hold on. This is not how it comes. Allah has given a formula in His book. He gave us a formula. If you don't want to follow that formula, then the problem is not with the deen, and the problem is with you. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam would teach us that even in the middle of the greatest fitna, if you are planting a tree, keep planting the tree. Why? Because planting a tree is not a short-term strategy, it is a long-term strategy. And power does not come. If you get power quickly, you will lose power quickly. But you have to build power if you want it to be sustainable. You have to build that power, especially the young people that are here. I actually want you to not only engage seriously in the study of Allah's book, but I want you to seriously start thinking about what power means. Allah wants us to explore the meaning of this word. Because Allah wants to make us gather it. And He wants to make us gather it after observing our enemy. أَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن رِبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us realize how powerful we truly are. And may Allah Azza wa Jal help us as an ummah to live up to the mandate of this ayah, of becoming a truly powerful ummah that doesn't have to yell and scream for its voice to be heard. Its very existence creates fear in those who would want to kill innocents. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن الحكيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم.